So something that everybody's going to need to do once they complete your 3 framing plans is to make sure that the information that's in them is able to be properly documented on a sheet of paper to be plotted out. So what we want to do this first and foremost is to insert a title block. And after we insert a title block, we're going to have to draw our layout windows in order to get it to look like a construction document should look. So in order to do that, we'll go to our 0 layer because we like our title block annotation information like that on the 0 layer. And I'm going to go to the insert command, and I'm going to insert, and I'm going to insert a block. I'm going to go to more options. And out on our network, if we go to browse, and on the V drive, which I have available today, very nice, I go to classes, structural drafting, resources, title blocks. I think this drawing, most of your drawings, the framing plan 2 and 3 will be on a D size, but I think I might be able to squeeze this drawing on a C size. We'll see. If not, we'll change. So I'm going to hit open, insert it, but remember, I'm not going to insert it. If I just put it here, look how small it is. That doesn't do me any good. If you remember, we need to put our title block in the layout. I'm going to delete these things. Now, when you first get to a layout, you'll probably see a sheet of paper like this. What we're going to do, I'm going to simply right-click and go to Options. And on the Options tab, I'm going to change some things about the display. First and foremost, I'm going to change the colors because in the layout, I want my layout, I like mine to be black both places. So for the sheet layout and also for the 2D model space, I want them both to be black. I'm going to hit apply and close. Now I'm going to say in all these options here, I'm going to uncheck all of these except for the very first one, display layout and model tabs, and I'm going to hit apply and OK. Now I'm ready to insert that same title block again. So I'll go to insert, I'll hit browse. I already have title block C in my drawing, so I'm just going to say OK. I'm going to type in 0, 0. It's going to ask me all of this information. I want you to fill it out. For the sake of time, I'm not going to worry about filling out the attributed information that's within the title block. You need to, because eventually you're going to have to make PDFs when we come back. After we get all these done, we'll come back and print them all, and I'll show you how to make PDFs out of them, okay? So there's my title block. Now what I need to do is I need to cut, if you remember, a window into this piece of paper so that I can see into the model space. It's like this black sheet of paper is this huge sheet of paper, and behind the sheet of paper is what I want to see, okay? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to go to, there's a few different ways I can do this, and I'll show you all the ways. First, if I go to Layout tab, I can make a viewport. I can click on rectangular viewport and draw a viewport, and automatically, bam, then I can see my information. Now, I'm not done yet because it's not scaled properly. Another way I can make a viewport, if you recall, from Drafting 140, is I can make a polygonal shaped viewport. That's some weird shape if I wanted to. Hit enter twice, there's a viewport. I can also, if I drew a circle out here, right, C for circle, I could go up here to viewport and say, give me an object viewport, and if I click on this object, now I have a viewport. Now these two viewports aren't useful to me now, I'm going to delete them, but there may be a time where a polygonal shaped viewport, or even a circular one, as you'll learn in advanced AutoCAD, will be very helpful to you. I'll delete those for now. So in the first window, what I knew is that I wanted this floor plan. As I told you, they're all going to be shown at a 1/4 inch equals a foot. So now that I'm in here, there's 2 ways I can go about scaling it. The easiest way, of course, the way that most of you will do it, will, once you double click in the viewport, make it active, and you know it's active because you can't see any of the other information, the view cube or these 2D tools over here. Once I double click, it become active in there. Then I go down and I say I want this to be 1/4 inch equals a foot. There's my viewport. It was that simple. How'd you draw it so close to what you needed, Joe? I've been doing this way too long. That's all that means, okay? So now I have the two details off to the side. If you look in your model space, I have this AA section and the BB section. All I'm going to do, friends, is come back out here. Now, first and foremost, what you're going to understand is that these aren't going to represent well at the same scale as the floor plan because they're smaller. So they're going to need to be scaled up larger. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a couple of more viewports. And before, if you remember, I went to layout and I went up here. But another way to do a viewport without even being on the layout tab is to do, can I type in MV for make view? If I just type in MV on the keyboard and then I simply draw a little box out here and I double click in the box, I scale up what I want to basically see, which is this detail, and I go down here and I click on this and I say, give me this at a 1/2 inch equals a foot. Now, that's at a 1/2 inch equals a foot, but there's a problem with it. The text is way too large, right? Even though it's a 1/2 inch equals a foot, it's what I want, the text is way too large. So we're going to figure out how do we fix that, and we're going to do that in the second video that we make, okay?